Hi, how's it going? Welcome back to Family and Fit, where we talk fitness and how to integrate it in your busy lifestyle. So I just posted a bulk update on Facebook. I think it went pretty well. I'm going to try to strip that video off of Facebook and put it on YouTube, but if I can't, there'll be links down in the description that'll take you to the Facebook channel. If you're not following us on Facebook, make sure to follow us on Facebook, especially if you want to get a personal side of our life, because that is where we stay most active. Here on YouTube as well, but YouTube is a little bit more informational, a little bit more outside of our family. I mean, we do the vlog thing, and that, I guess, incorporates quite a bit of the family stuff, but we keep even more like family-oriented stuff there. So if you want to see like even more behind the scenes, that's where you'll find it at. So today we're going to be talking about depression and fitness, and kind of like some of the struggles that I've went through, been going through, and some things that are going to help you guys be able to get through your journey whenever things get rough, things get tough. And let me just go ahead and start off by like something that's happened to me fairly recently that's just been very hard for me to deal with, and I was still able to stick with fitness. And that is, me and my fiance broke up. We have 4 kids together, and she moved out and everything, and it's pretty crazy. It's just life turned upside down type of thing. You just don't realize, like, I had the kids for like the first few weeks, and she didn't have the kids at all, and then she started getting the kids, and it was just like, it was really just like messed up. It just felt horrible, and it was like empty in the house. I have a pretty big house too, so it's like just being there by myself. Luckily my cousin moved in, and so I had like some companionship there, and it was alright, but it was alright, and that kept me and got me through things. And it was, like I said, it was just nice having somebody there. But it was still rough. It was still a very difficult thing to process and very difficult thing to deal with. And so one of the things that I did whenever I got to these emotional states and these states of depression, and like I said, it's just very, very difficult. Like, I'm just trying to bring myself to the mentality of how I was back then, and like just like how you just don't have the desire, the urge to move forward, and like the things that played through in my head to get me to continue going through to the gym. And I really noticed that you just didn't want to, like, absolutely sick to your stomach, just not wanting to. And so what I would do is I would just like I would not force myself to do anything. I would not set any goals. I would just go. Like, my only goal, my only objective, the only thing I had to do was go. I told myself, if I could just go to the gym, I can walk through the doors, do one set, and if I feel like leaving, I can leave. And I was willing to allow myself to do that. And by giving myself the ability to do that, it got me out of the house, but it didn't stop me. I didn't have that thing in my head where I felt like I was obligated to do something. And if I went to the gym, I was committing to this huge thing. And that's the thing that even newbies to fitness, like, that is a huge tip that will help. And you walk in there and you think you have to use every machine, you have to know how to use every machine, and it's just not like that, you know. And so by doing that, I was able to get to the gym. I got to the gym. I would always go in there and I would hit some sets, and the first thing I would do is I would drop it to like as light as the weights would go, and I would do like 30 to 50 rep sets. And I'll be honest, what I ended up doing through the majority of that time is doing those 30 to 50 rep sets, and the entire workout was pretty much like that. There would be some workouts that I would hit that would I would shoot for some heavier weight stuff, and this probably went on for at least a month or two, where I just basically just went through the motions of going into the gym, feeling the burn, getting in as much volume as I could, because I had no motivation to be there, because I had no desire to be there. You just had to go through the motions. That's all you can do, is just mentally you're not there. So what do? You got to still get in the volume. That's one of the main things when it comes to fitness, is you getting in the volume. Progressive overload matters, but you can get in progressive overload through volume. So if you're just continually doing more work per session, then you're going to get there. And muscle grows so slow that you don't even necessarily have to progress every single time you go to the gym. You don't have to increase your volume every time, or your weight, or anything like that every single time you go to the gym. Muscle just grows too slow, and it takes too long to adapt to different weights, or to heavier weights. I really wanted to touch on like how this impacted my bulk, because like this this has been like the first time that I've truly went into a solid bulk where I just stayed in the bulk for a long period of time. I've been bulking for almost like 6 months now, and I've made significant progress, especially for all the things that were thrown at me. I've been working like 80-hour weeks for like the past like at least month, if not 2 months. I'm out of town right now. I've been out of town for like 2 or 3 weeks. I went back for Christmas and came right back. So I have that stress of just leaving my family, being away from my family for long extended periods of time. I've also dealt with some other things, like just recently, just since I've been out of town, my washer has stopped working at the house, my van has stopped working, my camera bag is missing. I was lucky enough to have like my main components, like my camera, my audio recorder, and just some of the bigger stuff, but there's still hundreds of dollars in that bag, and there's still all kinds of accessories and things that I got used to using that help me with the process of doing this YouTube vlogging and everything. And so yeah, that really bums out. I don't know if you can tell, just thinking about it, putting myself in the mental state of how I was and how I kind of am still, you know. And it's just really difficult. It takes so much energy to hit the on button on a camera. You just don't know how much energy that it takes to be able to break through and pull the trigger. It's just so hard, so difficult. And it's one of those things where, like, it don't matter. It's a different type of energy. It don't matter, like, how many energy supplements you take or pre-workout. Whenever you reach this low state, it's like you're kind of just surviving. And I'll be honest, like, here lately, I've kind of became not necessarily addicted, but dependent on energy supplements. Like, I'm taking 2 to 3, 4 fat burners a day, and I'm using those as energy supplements, not as fat burners at all. They're pretty much worthless as fat burners, if you ask me. But I do utilize them for energy because they have high amounts of caffeine, and I've been using them just kind of to get through my day-to-day, working these 12-hour shifts every single day. And where they have been very, very helpful, there's still a lot of things that's still not that same type of energy that I need to be able to record these videos, to make it to the gym. It's just like you have energy to get through the day and have like mental clarity, but something that you'll have when like using stimulants, like any type of caffeine or whatnot, pre-workout, you're going to notice that when you very first start using them, you will get a like mental high from it, and you'll be like, yeah, let's do this, let's go. But after elongated periods of time of doing this, you just get really burnt out, and you get really tired you get burnt, you get wore, like life just starts taking a toll on you. And that's why I really wanted to make this video for you guys, because I want y'all to feel like my emotional state and understand like where I'm at, like right now, where I've been going through and how I've just been able to press through it. I want you to see that I'm able to press through it. I want to document this time in my life, because the time where I've eaten the most shit. Gary Vaynerchuk talks about it a lot, and it's something that I've taken into my own life. Is you got to eat shit if you want to be successful in life. If you want to, be the top of the top people, you have to do things you don't want to do. And it's not necessarily things that you don't want to do, but the things you don't have the energy to do, like turn on the camera. Like, I want to do videos, and that's like another thing that adds on to depression, is just like the fact that I'm not cranking out videos. This has been the longest session since I've uploaded a video, and it hurts me. It's hard for me to do. It's like I'm letting myself down, I'm letting you guys down, and it's like all this progress that I've put in, and all the people that are following me now, it's just like I'm just not here for you guys. So like, hopefully y'all understand, and hopefully, this video will be a milestone in like showing you guys the progression of life. And like, I just truly think that whenever you go through these low points, that's when you reach a breakthrough, where you reach a point where you're just like, okay, look, this is enough. I gotta move on. I gotta, you just can't just stay in this low state. It's like you stay in the low state for a long period of time until you get so sick of being in the low state, you have to come out of it. Like, you'll force yourself out of it, I think. I'm in that point. There's been only one other time where I would even say close that I've eaten shit the way that I'm eating shit right now. And that was back whenever I was going to college for the automation that I do. I was going to college and working full-time, working like at least like 48 hours a week. My fiance, she'd always been working hours and hours and hours, like 60, 70 hours a week, always, pretty much, ever since we've had kids, that was a very, very rough time in our life, where, I was going through all that school and that transition, just like, it was like, oh my God, I was taking like 18 credit hours on top of a full-time job. It was just ridiculous. There was literally 2 days, or a 48-hour period where I didn't get no sleep. like worst time of my life. I was going crazy. There was even a period of time where I threw eggs at a wall. Yeah, I did that. But and I would say like this is almost to that point again. Like it's just almost there. And it's not that like letting necessarily life is just so bad. It's that life is good still. Life is really good. It's just a matter of sometimes whenever you're putting in all this effort, you're putting in all this work and like you're sacrificing family time and you're just making all these sacrifices and you just look around and you're like, for what? And then you have stuff like, you know, with the van breaking down, camera bag missing. It's like all these little setbacks. You're moving forward, like your effort is going forward, but then you have your setbacks that are back here and it's just like eats at you, tears you up, rips you apart, and it's just, it's hard to deal with. It's really hard to deal with. But like I said, I think this is times where it makes you strong, and I'm gonna go back to the part where what makes it so difficult is putting in so much effort, getting lack of sleep, educating yourself, losing out on time with the family, just all these things that you're doing for the effort, which are things that you're just gonna have to do and you're gonna have to suck it up and deal with. You know, like that's just part of the journey, part of the grind. You gotta love that part of the process, and you can't disrespect that part of the process. And like I said, you just have to love it, like Gary Vaynerchuk will say. The hard part is the negative things, the downfalls of when you're trying to move forward in your efforts, but yet something else is trying to pull you down, like the fact that I'm missing so much camera gear, so many little things like cables that are just like I have to have them. Like I literally didn't, like my LED light that I have going on right here, I don't have the charger for it anymore. It was in that bag, and I was so lucky that like you can plug it into a wall, so that was like super great because battery operated. But it's just been like really a struggle, and it's been like the process of just eating shit. And so like just like you got to take that with life and fitness, you know. Like there's gonna be times where you're gonna look in the mirror and you're gonna feel like you're not making results, especially like whenever you're going into a bulk, because like gaining muscle is so slow, like it's the slowest. I mean, even whenever you're cutting too, like sometimes you're just not gonna notice that you're losing fat, or you may hit a plateau, and sometimes you just like plateau because your body just wants to for a minute. Like it just happens. Like, and sometimes it's psychological. Sometimes it's just like what you happen to eat consecutively for like 3 days. Because like one thing that I noticed, like in a cut, you're making progress, and you see this nice like linear like progression. Like cool, you know, as long as I just keep this up, we'll be there. And then you hit like a 3-day mark where you're just like at this like flat level. Yeah, like 3 or 4 days. You know, it don't take many days when you're in a cut to be like, man, is this worth it? But and it'll be something like you just started consuming a lot of water, or I mean, it's just so like you just weighing yourself at the wrong time of the day. Like you started weighing yourself in the evenings versus the mornings, or like one day you weighed yourself in the mornings, then lunch, and then evening, and it's like so you're just gonna weigh heavier and heavier throughout the day. And you can just do silly stuff like that and not even really notice that's what you're doing. So like you really gotta eliminate what you can as far as that goes. Like weighing yourself at the same time, trying to consume the same amount of water every day. But there's just times where just life happens and you're just grinding through the process. And so much of like what we do and what people that follow our channel are probably gonna do is just be going through the process. You know, you're not gonna have time to optimize every little thing. Because you know, if you follow this channel, been following this channel, you know that we target the 9-to-5er and people who just have a busy lifestyle, people who have kids, people who just have pretty much no time, like and ways to implement fitness into their life. Like this is just it's such an important fundamental time in your life that you have to get through, and it's the breaking point. It literally, this is what like signifies. This is what I can't find the right word, but this is what makes or breaks or defines. This is what defines people in whether they become this person that they've really strived to be, or they give up and they're 70 years old and they're looking at regret. That's one of my biggest fears, is I don't want to regret anything that I've done in life. I want to be not necessarily happy of all the things that I've done, but endure everything as a learning process and be completely okay with everything. Not necessarily completely okay, that's wrong too, but like, you know, you get what I'm saying. I just overall want to take everything as a learning experience, yet when I get to the end, I want to say that I never gave up, basically. I don't want to be 70 years old and be like, I gave up, or I had this stupid tendency that always caused me to set back. And the past 5 years I've been doing really well. Prior to that, I'm 26 years old, by the way. Prior to that, I had mishaps where, like, when I was 18, I was trying. I went to college. Then when I was like 21, I was trying. No, maybe it wasn't 21. That would have been 5 years ago. Maybe it was like 20 or something like that, 19. Yeah, I think it's 20. And I was doing good again, got my own place, da-da-da-da, and then I just kind of like relapsed. And that's because a lot of the stuff that I did back in the past with like drugs and whatnot. I used to, party quite a bit, and it took me quite a while to mature and to get past, that desire to do that. And I'm definitely 100% glad that I did. And, that's whenever I met my fiance and really got to settle down, and she was like a goody-goody, so that like worked out perfect, and me being able to like just stay away from all this bad stuff. And then I just started having things click in my head, like, do I really want to be friends with these people? Like, some of the people, like my friends, the friends that I have, I've been friends since I was like 14 years old, like 8 years old, 7 years old. And it's not necessarily that I don't want to be friends with them people anymore. Like, sometimes I want to hang out with those people still. I just don't have time. I'm on a different journey. I'm on this path over here. And it doesn't allow time for anybody, much less, like, it don't even matter who you are, really. I just don't have time in this period of my life. And I think a lot of my friends kind of stress about it. Some of my friends have probably given up on me. And some of the friends are just like, they're just not good individuals. Like, you can stick it out your entire life and be like the best friend and like never steal from them and always have their back and da-da-da-da-da. And they won't have that same type of love for you back. And to me, it's like, why waste your energy on somebody who's going to be like that? You got to focus your energy on people who really matter. Like, that's something you need to evaluate for yourself, is just like who matters in life. Like, my list is just getting smaller and smaller. It's kind of sad. That's one thing that I've been kind of struggling with, is I reflect on my life. I reflect on who's in my life, and it's getting very slim who's in my life. I pretty much have my grandma, my fiance, my cousin, my little brother, my dad, and that's really all that I have that's like here, like there for me, as far as like on a day-to-day basis. I can call them up and they'd have my back, and it's like, and there's just different dynamics. My grandma's old. My little brother's young. He's only 12 years old, about to be 13. My fiance, a lot of the problems that I'm dealing with are the same problems that she's dealing with, because we're one, and we're living this life together. My cousin lives with us right now, so he has some of the same problems, especially if it has anything to do with like the household, like the washer breaking down or whatnot. It's difficult to go through this process. This video is gonna be a rant video. This would be like long AF. But I'm going into tangents that really matter, and like this is gonna be like a documenting type of video, just like something that's gonna be like really to myself and to the people, like after I've made it, like to reflect on and be like, wow, I can't believe this person like came from there, and like he was in this mental state of mind, and also this state of mind right here is where you really dive down to who you are. You really dive down to what matters in life. And these are the questions that you need to ask yourself, and ask what's worth it, and ask, like, say for instance, if I was to just say screw the whole YouTube thing, like if I was to just dump the whole YouTube channel, that may not be the wrong decision. It may suck, and I may feel bad about it, but it may not be the wrong decision. It's not something that I'm planning on doing, by the way, so just calm down. I look at that's a really big decision in my life. If I was to leave my fiance, to be honest, like, part of our breakup started from me. It was like my fault, and I feel like I was trying to go here in life, and like she was not really trying to. Like she's like I said, she's been working her ass off, like 70 hours a week, 8 hours a week, 6-7 days a week since we've been together, and you're dead. You're going back to that energy state that I was talking about, where you may have energy, you may take energy supplements, but it's not the same type of energy. It's like a dead dog type of energy. It's like a beaten, abused dog type of energy. You're just like, you just can't muster up any energy to like want to do anything extra. You can work your 9-to-5 job, you can do all this and that, but to like get up off the couch whenever it's supposed to be your day off and do anything extra, it's hard to push past that. So I essentially started pushing towards, like, I really didn't want to be with her, and sometimes decisions like that may not be the wrong decision. Sometimes it may be the right decision. And so I started pushing towards a breakup. I started pushing towards, I I'm gonna do me. Like if you want to complain about me doing YouTube and not having time with you and the family and this and that and all this, all the extra stuff, that I just didn't want to deal with that no more. I wanted to like close my eyes, eat shit for the next how many ever years, spend as much time with my kids and my family as I can, and and see where life takes me, just see where my efforts can put me, because I know that through my efforts and through my knowledge that I learned, that I can definitely take things to the next level. I don't want anything there to hold me back, especially negative energy. Like that's one of the things that I absolutely cannot do. I cannot have somebody be like bitching at me. It's already hard enough like when I'm doing YouTube and like I'm like away from the kids and I'm like editing a video. Like this is not what I want to do. Doing video is not what I want to do. What I want to do is fitness and how and basically portray the message to other people, like how to get fit, how to stay fit, how to, you know, start off with fitness, educate people about fitness and like how much it's improved your life. Kind of doing more videos like this where it's just like really deep in depth and like how you need to go about it to be able to take the next step forward, break through and pull the trigger. Like that's what I want to do. I want to, you know, like I said, do fitness, do it for you guys, show all of you like it's possible, and you know, and screw all the stuff. Like it took me years and years of knowledge to realize that none of it really matters. Like it's so ridiculous how much knowledge you learn to realize it really doesn't matter. Like fitness people are kind of a joke to me. I'll be honest. Like I find it very hard to like a lot of fitness people because so many fitness people are closed-minded. They are, this is the right way type of thing, but it's like you'll have somebody like debating, like, I don't want to piss anybody off, but I'm probably going to piss some people off here. You'll have people debating like whether macros matter or not. And yes, they do. Like if you're going to compete and you're going to do things professionally, yes, macros matter. If you want to have a significant amount of weight loss, yes, macros matter. If you hit a plateau, yes, macros matter. But like macros don't fucking matter. Like does that make sense? Like if you're making progress, macros don't matter. If your body feels good, if all your bodily functions are working great, macros don't matter. And it's like it's these things like somebody will preach like, oh, you keep your fats high and drop your carbs. Yes, that is the standard thing you do. That is the standard thing you do. But it's not the thing. You know, somebody may like not deal with carbs well at all and have to do keto, or maybe some people just can't stand fat, so they have to do a higher carb consumption and hardly any fats at all. And it's just how it is, man. Like everybody's different. Like I can't stand how so many people in the fitness industry, they try to be like, not like I'm bigger than you, but like not that they're better than you. They try to like almost debate you like on, oh, this is the proper way. It's like, dude, if this is the proper way, then why do all these people have so many different ideas? And that's what I really want to bring to this channel. Is I really want to make things more simple and just like rip out all the things that really don't matter. I do want to let y'all know about macros and how they do matter, because they do matter, but again, they don't. You know, they only matter when they matter. You know, as long as you're not doing like completely ignorant stuff, completely stupid stuff where you're just like never eating any fats and like you're like always constipated or something. Like it's like increase your fats and then like that problem will probably go away. Like that's one thing I actually personally noticed with myself. I was just too carb heavy, not enough fat heavy. I adjusted my macros around and boom, I was good to go. And that's just things people just don't understand. They just can't comprehend that. And that's something that I didn't even know. I'm like thinking maximum gains. How do you get your arms as big as possible? What's the best workouts to make your arms bigger? Like these are questions. Like these are all the questions I'm asking. I'm asking all the questions that you've probably asked, that you may have asked. Like I would learn about one topic and then I'd go on like a whole entire like months worth of like multiple months, not a month, multiple months of learning about like how to make your arms bigger, or like, you know, like just reading documentation, watching YouTube videos. Like back in 2000, no, I don't know what year it was, about like 4 years ago, and it's probably like 5 years ago, 5 years ago, and for like 2 or 3 years, like 8 hours a day solid every single day of the week, just educating myself on fitness, and that's where, you know, a lot of people will find it hard to, they may find it hard to respect me because of like maybe I'm not huge yet, I've not put in 20 years into fitness, I've not put 10 years into fitness. You know, I've personally only been working out myself for 2.5 years now, which is nothing, you know. But I've made decent progress over the 2.5 years. It's not necessarily about out here. There's so many personal trainers that are like skinny, and like for the longest I'm like, this dude's like frail and he's like trying to train this person, or this person's fat and they're like trying to personal train this person. And then I realized that you don't have to be what somebody else wants to be able to teach somebody. It's that simple. You can learn. You can be a bookworm, and you can learn everything there is to learn about a topic, and then you can teach that topic. And that's what goes on a lot of times with colleges. Like, a lot of times a person will go to college to like be a college teacher. It's really weird, and it really kind of confuses you. But like, yeah, it's one of those things. You can learn all these things and then just relay knowledge. That's all you're doing is relaying knowledge. And I think one of the things the thing that made me really want to jump into YouTube fitness and everything like that is the fact it's not that difficult. Like, that's whenever I was like, man, I want to do this. It first initially started whenever like I would be reading people's comments on other people's YouTube videos that I'd be watching, and somebody's like, "Oh, dude, thanks, bro, you changed my life." Da 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 da. And I was like, "Wow, I want to do that one day. I want to be that guy that does that." So that was like my first inclination that I ever wanted to do YouTube. And then from there, when I started just realizing that fitness is just not as difficult as people make it out to be, and talking about all this jargon of macros and just, you know, intermittent fasting and keto and blah 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 blah, and how it's the way, you know, like everybody's way is the way. After I started really realizing that, that's when I'm like, okay, I gotta educate people to like understand that like that none of it really matters. Like, it matters, but it don't matter. Like, let's go back to it. It matters, but it don't matter. Like, honestly, your first year or two of fitness, you could just do like 3 workouts, maybe a total of 6, and make significant progress. You can probably make as good a progress as I've made. Now, I'm not boasting my progress at all, but you know, I've been doing fairly decent. I've had a lot going through my life, a lot of mistakes on my own part, a lot of experiments on my own part that I've done on my own body to kind of test different things out. But definitely is something that, it's definitely something that's attainable in a shorter period of time with very little knowledge. Not really a shorter period of time. It's definitely something that's attainable for very little knowledge. Like, you really don't need that much knowledge to be able to get fit and in shape. I could probably set you up with like a paragraph. I could write you a paragraph, and you'd pretty much have everything you'd really need for like the next 2 years. And that's just the truth about it. Like, it's just that easy to get to a place where you have a pretty solid physique. It really doesn't take much. Now, as you start reaching your genetic potential, that's when you got to start playing around more. That's when you got to start adjusting macros, and you got to start playing around with different weights, like different reps, different amounts of weights, different workout regimens, different fitness programs. You got to switch it up more or less. You just got to kind of, depending on the person. Like, that's the thing, is like, personal training is personal. Like, that's the name of it. Personal training. Like, it's personal. So for anybody to give advice that is, this is the way, unless it's like that shit really don't matter, it's not really good advice. If anybody says this is the right macro range or this is the right blah blah blah, I don't agree. I agree that the way is whatever works for you. If not, you're just giving that cookie cutter advice that's gonna work. Yes, it's gonna fucking work. It works for everybody. Yeah, it's not because it's the right way. It's because it's a way. You know, that's the big hang up, is like, people have a way that works, and they want to try to portray it as if it's the right way. Like, for anybody to say keto is the way to go, oh God, I can keep ranting about this all day. I should just shut up and move on to the next topic, which I don't know what that is. So, oh yeah, so I plan on being more active on Facebook. So make sure to put your comments down below. Not comments down below. Make sure to go down hit up that link down below for the Facebook page. I'm going to try to be more active on Facebook. I don't even know if that's what I said, but that's what I'm saying now. I'm going to be more active on Facebook. Yeah, and that's just because I got to do it. I'm going to start getting into the comments more. I'm going to just start doing as much as I can to get out there, guys. I've been just kind of doing this slow grind process of just putting content out for a while. But, it's time, I think, to really execute on, I think, some of the things that I may be avoiding a little bit, like getting in the comments with people. And I think the biggest struggle why I don't get in comments with people, it goes back to the thing where I don't like dealing with people that says, like, this is the way. Like, I don't want to fucking argue with you. Like I don't want to argue with anybody. I don't want to waste my energy with it. It's hard. It's hard because you can have, like, a big debate, like paragraphs of a debate about, like, how when somebody says it's the right way, it's just like, it's almost not even worth wasting your energy on, because they're not going to give it up. It's going to be the way. It's going to be the only way. So yeah, it's just not going to work out. You might be able to win, maybe here and there, but, like, if it's the right way, y'all might have some agreement points, and I try to push back, especially if they're in my comments about things. I try to push back because, like I said, we're trying to keep things simple here. And I'll give out very in-depth advice. I'll give out very in-depth advice, but it's only gonna be for people who really ask about it. It's gonna be for people who know a lot more. Like this person came to me and was like, didn't know how to count calories. It is what it is. Like, at one point in time, I didn't know how to count calories. Like, you don't wake up knowing how to count calories. You're not born knowing how to count calories. And so this person just needs to learn how to start counting calories. Like, that's the first step. And then somebody comes in talking about macros. Like, dude, like, this dude don't know how to count calories. Like, one of the most basic things to being able to accomplish a diet, and you're trying to throw macros at them. Like, they do matter, but, like, they don't, It's just not time to get into that. It's inappropriate time. It's right now, let's figure out how to do calories. Let's, and it's so crazy, like, that people don't know how to do calories, and, like, that's the type of content I need to make, like, really in-depth, like, how to count calories type of videos. So yeah, I guess that'll be coming soon. Thank you guys if you stuck around to the end. There might be a part 2 to this, I don't know. I'm done recording for right now. I'm sure I'll have some more to rant on about, but I kind of want to get more in depth. I really want to document this time in life. I didn't realize that I had all my jeans laying over there. Gosh, what a slob. They're laying there because they were, like, damp. I had to run out the house, and I didn't have time to, like, dry them and shit. So they were dry, but not dry enough. So I had to lay them out like that. Just don't judge me. Make sure you hit that subular button if you stuck around to the end, and that notification bell. That way you get notified whenever we post videos. And if you did stick around to the end, I really appreciate it, guys. I hope that this is going to be a document of my life, of a portion of my life, of me eating shit and going through one of the hardest phases of my life to be able to get to the next step and see the sun on the other side. Thanks again, guys, for everybody who subscribes, likes our videos, and just watches them. I really appreciate it, and I hope y'all's journey is as good as mine.